For the first drug we discuss, let's talk about marijuana and CBD. Now, when we look at marijuana, it is either considered legal for recreational use, legal for medicinal use, or illegal, and that varies depending on state. As of 2025, here's how it breaks down. It is legal in 23 states for recreational use, which means you can buy it with a valid driver's license. It is legal in 18 states for medical use, which means you need a doctor's note to get a medical card to purchase marijuana, and illegal still in 9 states. With having 3 different ways that we look at marijuana, here are the pros and cons and arguments of each. When we look at legal marijuana, advocates here say that marijuana is medicine and it does have medicinal properties. And therefore, they might even make the argument that marijuana should be covered by insurance. Others look at marijuana like alcohol and think this is a medication and or a drug that people can use recreationally but can use safely. It is nearly impossible, if not truly impossible, to overdose on marijuana and die. You can overdose on marijuana and have a bad experience, but there is no overdose death risk with marijuana. And when we compare marijuana to something like alcohol, it is generally much less harmful in its ramifications than is alcohol. With alcohol, we see DUIs, we see a lot of abuse that comes from people being inhibited and getting potentially violent. We really don't see that with marijuana. So a lot of advocates say that marijuana, as compared to alcohol, is much less harmful and ought to be available and regulated much in the ways that alcohol is. And then there's the argument that marijuana is a drug and has tar in it and it is harmful and should be illegal. Now, when we look at regulating marijuana, the challenge is that there was a myth that if we regulate marijuana, the taxes from it create jobs for teachers and pave roads. That if we made marijuana legal and we taxed it, that stream of revenue would truly help do a lot of good. The challenge is that stream of revenue, what it really does is it helps regulate the production of marijuana. Because if you don't spend money on the regulation, then what you have is people not measuring where the marijuana is going and keeping track of it, nor using good conditions to grow the marijuana, which becomes a safety issue for the consumer. So those are the different kind of classifications of marijuana and the pros and cons of each.